Okay, we are now live. Hello, everyone. Just wait a few minutes to let people connect. Hello, Lou.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. We are both live on Facebook and YouTube. People are connecting. Just wait. And probably even my connection is not super fast. Let's see if everything is working. But I think yes. Okay, I can see people connecting. Okay, they are starting to. Okay, perfect. On Facebook, we are there, and I think as well on YouTube. So, Lou, if you want to start telling us what we are going to do and so on.
Right, I thought today what we'd do is make a folio, which is just like a little mini book. But the idea behind it is you can create more than one of them and stick them together to make a big book. So it's not like you have to make a big book to start with. It's little chunks added to something bigger. So we're going to be doing that. So this will actually fit in an A5 envelope. So if you were going to send it to someone, like a journal, or, like if you were doing a travel document and you were going away. So inside it, we're going to be making, so this will go up here, and this is like a little concertina pocket for all our little tags. This side there's some little flaps, and that's, photo mounts. But then we have, let's turn you around, and then we've got lots of different pages.
Wow.
That will all go together, and then it all closes back up into one little booklet.
Wow, brilliant. So I see, Carol, it's great. I mean, it's a lot of work. I mean, all this.
Well, I'm hoping we'll get it done relatively. I've prepped lots of it because of that, but I'll explain as I'm going along what I've done. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Hello, Caroline. So people are connecting. And so when you want to start, let's start with your project. Okay.
Okay. So I need to turn my camera around, don't I?
Yes. Okay. Just we are waiting for Lou to turn the camera around, and then we start with this great project, this beautiful folio. So I remind you that the lives will be saved both on Facebook and YouTube. So if you miss some passages or you need to watch something, they will be there. Don't be afraid to ask if you need something. We'll be there for you. Just a little bit. Hello, everyone. Hello, Peg. Hello. How are you? Okay, I think that Lou is ready to start.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'm just letting Facebook catch up with me.
Okay. You are back.
Okay, I'm just waiting for Facebook so I can see if I need to turn it round, and I do. Facebook seems to be doing this. Every time I set the camera into landscape mode, it changes it all the time for me.
Yeah, it changes a little. Yeah. Hello, Carol. From Liverpool. So you are neighbors. Okay, I leave you hold the cameras and.
Right, what I'll do is I'm just working out, because obviously now I'm in landscape mode. I will turn it round to show people what I'm doing so you can actually see. I'm just moving my steps out the way. Right, I have prepped lots of this. So I'm using London's Calling. So I'm just taking out all the different bits that I've prepped. As you can see, I did jump ahead a little bit because I didn't want to make everybody sit here and watch me just stick things together. Or cut things out even. Right, so I've created a little booklet, and it's slightly smaller than an A4, and I've done 3 score lines in it. And this is part of a little template I made to actually, make the project. And part of it is we're going to create some pages. So I'm going to start with the pages first. And sorry, these are all my little bits of decoration for each page, and we're going to start. So I know I'm working black on black, but what we'll do is once we add the papers to it, you'll be able to see a little bit more of what I'm actually doing. So I'm just going to start and sticking the background. Look at that one. It's so hard to know which one to use, but we're going to use this, the main one. Right, so I'm just going to stick this down, and then we can stick the pages in place, because obviously working on a black on black background is going to be very tricky for everybody to see what I'm doing. So if I stick some of the images in place, and I'm using a mixture of the 12 by 12 patterns pad and the A6 fussy cut pad. So I'm using those. So that's going to be one side of my booklet, and I'm just going to turn it over, and I've got the other side that I want to do as well. So as you can see, I'm just getting everything in place. So we've got a little, let's move you out the way for the moment, then people can see a bit better. So all I've done is I've cut a piece of card to where I would want a photograph to be, and I'm just placing that there. And it's just a visual clue rather than just leave a black space. It just gives people an idea of where they could stick a photograph if they wanted to stick a photograph. So we've just got that there. And I then got a smaller piece, which is going to sit down the bottom there. And we'll gradually start. So I want to add all the pages, and then add my favourite part, which I call the faffing part, is when we add all those lovely lots of little toppers, tags, and all the other little embellishments. So we've got that piece sitting there like that. Right, so I'm just moving everything I've got out of the way. And I've done a score line, and I'm just going to now start sticking this to my actual booklet, and we're going to do each page at a time. And I'm going to just stick that a little bit on the edge there, wipe the glue away, and I'm just going to hold it in place just for a couple of seconds, just so I can get my glue to stick down. And if I grab my bone folder, that would be even better. And I can then make sure the glue goes edge to edge. I'm not worried about the glue coming out because that will be covered. So that's going to be like my first part of the booklet. So this page is now opening up. So it's going to look like that. I'm just seeing some comments I was doing there. Greetings from Liverpool, USA, Norway. Wow. Knitting. Do you know, I really wish I could get into knitting. But I can do crochet, but I'm not into knitting as such. Right, so that's that decoration. So I'm going to build the pages up first, and then I'm going to start adding, we can add all the decorations. So this is going to be my second page. So I'm just going to do as I did before, which is just stick down some of the elements. And the papers are double-sided. So I've got this one here. I love the image of the knight, and we've got pawn and king. But then on the reverse, we've got that really bold check, which works just as well. They're stunning. Right, so just going to stick this one down. And so as I said, the whole project is designed that it will fit within itself. You could send it in an A5 envelope to someone if that's what you wanted to do, or you can then start sticking them together and make a bigger book. So rather than create a bigger book and then have all those pages to fill out, you've got a little bit, you know, where you want things to be. Right, I want to work out where I'm going to put this one. I think I'm going to reverse it round for a change. So I've done exactly the same again. The cream card is just there to where you possibly put a photograph. You could put a pocket. You could put absolutely anything you wanted to put there. Right, so we've got that going to go down the bottom there. And then this one is going to go along the top. So it matches. So it's from the same backing paper, but a different section of it. So they match in places. Mind you, the back of this one, I know I've just put glue on it, is absolutely stunning as well, because it's got all the different border strips. It's just like, oh, heaven. That one there, if you really wanted to be you know, make a paper go as far as you wanted a paper to go. That one, the amount of borders you could cut and single different elements is absolutely out of this world. Right, okay, so we've got that there, and I'm just going to put some glue here. And I'm just going to put this down here. And I'm putting this one now. I want it to roughly line up in place with the one I've already stuck down. So that's going to go there. And we've got those now sitting here. So now we've got two of the pages. So one's going this way, one's going that way, and then I've obviously got the center one. I won't stick a piece of paper down there because I want to stick some other elements on here. So they could go either, you know, doesn't matter which way round you actually, you know, want it to go. Right, so we've got those two, and I want to do one more. As I said, I've got all my little bits and pieces all ready and cut. Hi, Sam. Taught yourself, knitting. I just don't know. I love knitting. I love the way knitting looks and everything like that. I'm just an impatient person, and so I crochet rather than knit, because for me, I can get something made a lot quicker. But I do love, you know, the way knitting looks. Right, so I'm just going to move this over. So all I'm doing is just the mat and layers at the moment for these. So we're just making the structure up, and then, you know, we'll put it all together and add all our different pockets to it. That's the other paper I was saying, that this is on the 12 by 12. I'll turn it that way so you all can see a bit better. And there is so many elements if you really wanted to cut that one up and make it go as far. So I could have that side. I need to trim this down, or that side. Let's have a think. I'm going to work out which. No, I'm going to go for that one. Right, I just need to I thought I'd trimmed this. Let's just make a little mark, and we'll trim that quickly. And there we go. And we'll go for that one, as I keep saying how wonderful that paper is. But then, if I show you that, so just from one paper, I've managed to do 3 different pages with it. If I put that there, you can see, and it is actually one paper, and it is obviously an old map of London, but you can cut it up and it looks completely different when you see it as a whole piece compared to little pieces, if that makes sense. Right, there we go. I've got that one going to go on there. So we will be layering up on these, but just really wanted to show everybody a different way of creating a folio. So now I've got like all the different pages going across that way. I can have it going that way. I can now, if I wanted to, I could stick one on top of each other. But what I thought would be nice is we're actually going to do it. So this is going to stick on top there, which is slightly different to the other book. And I do like to do that as well. I do like to make things similar, but different, only because I get bored if I have to do too many things the same. And I think we all create like that. As you're creating, you think of a different idea. So I just need to push that in. I'm just going to make sure it's all lined up with the other pages. And I just want to make sure it's glued down in place. And we've got that there. So now we've got the 3 different pages. They all can overlap that way. I can have that one going over there and this one going over the top. So it's just by creating 3 different pages and just making them slightly smaller, it changes the way something looks straight away, and it looks more complicated than it actually is. And I do like doing things like that. Now, these are going to be my flap areas to hold all of these in place. And like I said, I have cut everything ahead of time. And I'm using, I don't know if anyone has got London's Calling. this is the embossed paper, and I'm going to do that so you can hear how it works. Oh, thank you, Sam. But it's got a raised texture, and it really feels beautiful. But it's a paper, and that is really, I love that sort of thing, that it's a paper, but you've got that really tactile bit to it as well. So we're going to bring in an element of this, and I'm going to just stick these down on here, and we'll stick those in place. And I've got two that I'm going to do. But on the reverse of these, I'm going to put a piece of card, which you could put a photo there, but I'm just doing it to be as if you were going to do a photo. So we've got that going there. And so that's going to sit there. And I'm going to bring it down just a smidge. I do like the technical terms, smidge and ish. I'm dreadful for proper measuring. I do things by eye. That doesn't mean they're always going to be straight, but then that's what I think all the embellishments are for, you know, to stick those down and cover up what we do. And we're just going to stick this down here. And I want to do now, I want to do it on the back. That's right. Sorry, I've changed my mind about how I'm going to stick this down. Let's wipe the glue away like that. Okay, because I want these to be on the reverse of everything. I knew I was going to do it slightly different, so I'm going to put it on the reverse so it sits there like so. So I'm just checking that everything lines up. So I'm just going to close my pages and make sure everything, anything hanging over, I can. So that now is going to sit over the top like that. And like I said, I wanted it to be on the reverse this time. So there we go. So that now is going to sit over on the top like that. And I've got exactly the same. I'm going to do the same for the one on the bottom. So I'm just going to move my booklet out of the way, and we'll get those stuck down quickly. And has anybody got London's Calling and been playing with it? It's a really nice collection. I know it says a winter collection, but it is something, because there's elements of it that you could use for winter, but there's lots of elements that you could use all year round. It doesn't have to be, you know, just for winter. And I love that. And I love the pops of colour, because it's got a very muted palette, and then you see pops of the red, and then obviously with this blue paper, you get pops of the blue as well. And it just lifts very, very simply. So if you were stamping or using stencils with it, you don't have to have too many ink colours. So we've got that there. I'm just going to put some glue along here. And again, I'm just going to stick it to the bottom here. And I'm just lining everything up. So that. I try not to do overly complicated. I like making projects that look like they're really complicated, but actually it's just where we do our sticking and where we put our pages. And I think because then it makes quick making, because I know memory books can take quite a long time to actually make. Right, so we've got those two there. So now, and I've got a tab. I want to line that up so it's a bit straighter. Thank you. That's better. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. And I've got my tab here. Now I'm going to leave this until I've decided on which sort of topper I want to put in place. Actually on the top there, because I will use it to actually, you know, cover where I'm going to stick this part. So this part now is I'm just going to put it with my little stash of other goodies that I've got there. So we've now got, we've got the flaps now, so it opens up and you've got different areas. We've got this part here. We've now got this part. And this part then opens up here. That's not stuck on very straight, and that will bug me. But I'm going to be cheap just a little bit and just force the crease over. That's better. And then what I've done is to hide where I've stuck everything, I've cut another piece of paper. So where I've stuck all those flaps in place, I've now stuck another piece of paper. And, you know, we could go very dramatic like that, but I've got the two blue there. But I thought we'll bring this one in because it brings in a little bit of all the different colours from there. Speed crafting, Carol. I mean, it is coming together. I mean, it is a template I made and designed. And the idea when I made the template was that the longest part would probably be cutting it out, but the actual making part would be really quick. In my head, I've moved on to the next part of my project. So I don't, sometimes I love to sit down and get lost, you know, and get absorbed in a project, but other times I just want to make something quickly. So we've now got this at the back here. So as I said, I can change these flaps around. So I could go like that, and like that with those on the top, or we could open it up and change it again. It could go like that, like that, like that. I could change it, you know, so these flaps can be whichever way round you actually want them to be. Right, before we do the pocket, I do want to decorate this bit here. And I want to make this into like a belly band, but I didn't want to cut this one to shape until I'd worked out where everything goes. So I've taken a bit of the blue paper again. So the belly band could go on here, or I could put the blue, because I've got actually the blue going on here. You know, and again, this is where, you know, you bring a little bit of you. I don't want to put it on there. So it, you know, it can go wherever you want to be, because we have all the different tags. I'm just going to bring one in quickly. In the collection, you get lots of different tags and toppers, you know, that would sit behind, and they all work and go beautifully that way. So what we'll do is, I think, let me have a think, which way we're going to do. Should we do it on this one? I think we might do both, actually, because I've cut both out. Right, so I just need to measure this and then cut it down. And as you can see, my precise measuring. And so, and I just need to work out where this one is going to be cut. And work out from there. In the bin. So I've got my little belly band that's going to sit there, and we'll stick that down and leave it just for the moment so it's stuck in place. While I'm just doing this, I'm just trying to catch up with the comments. Yes, please, for UK. What London's calling, Sam? Personal Impressions have it on there at the moment. I know a lot of it did sell out, so I don't think like the 12 by 12 papers are there at the moment. Oh, my glue's a bit horrible. Let's just clean that in a bit there. I'm trying to think of the other UK stockist. Right, so that is just going to go there. Right. So we've got that little belly band from there, because what we can add all the different toppers, but we've got lovely tags that can sit over the top to hide that part there. And we've got like time is an illusion, which is, you know, absolutely beautiful way of doing it. But we'll do all the decorating afterwards. So we've got that there, and I can put that on the top. That goes there, and this now encloses all of those. So we'll get all the other little elements sorted. I've got them all sitting beside me. And now I just want to bring in the pocket element that I've got here. And what I thought would be nice for the pocket element, I haven't decided on which backing paper I want to use yet to go this part here, is I'm actually going to change this up slightly differently, and I'm going to do a third flap, whereas in the other book, if I bring it in, I'm going to do a mixture of both. All I did was did the pocket, and I had this part over here, but I just wanted to make it just a little bit different this time, so that can go and sit underneath there. Right, so let's just stick that part down, because I think where the pocket elements are concerned for me in projects, they're the ones I probably decorate last, because I think they're the ones that you're going to put well, you're going to put journaling cards in there, or photo mats, or things like that. They're the different, the different places that, you can put everything into. So I've got that there. And to match it up, I'm going to stick it to the outside like I did before. They do sell out really, really quickly, but they are beautiful. It's because the designs are, I love the designs because, yes, there is obvious elements to it, how you can use it and everything like that. I didn't trim that very well, but we'll trim that in a minute. But they allow you to then, once you've cut into them, they allow you to take it off into completely different directions. So we've got that there. And now what I've done is I've created a pocket, and I want to make a concertina pocket. So that means then when it's all stuck down, it will, if I do it that way, you probably see better. It means I can store a lot more things in there rather than if I just stuck some glue down. So I'm just going to join these bits together. And I'm just going to put a little bit, what I find when I'm making a concertina pocket is that if I just stick these bits together first, I just find it easier. Then I'm not wrestling with three sides at the same time. I prefer to use wet glue in most of my projects rather than red liner, but red liner or a strong tape would work just as well. It's just my preference to use wet glue. So that's now going to sit like that on the top there. I'm just making sure the glue's in place, that's all. And so, like I said, I haven't decorated this part or decided which paper I want to use yet, because I want to see what other elements I'm going to bring in. Right, so I'm just going to put the pocket so it just sits there, and I'm just going to hold it in place. And I'm actually very, very tempted to go with the blue and then put a paper on the inside. Right, okay. Okay, so we've got that there. So this now will sit over. So we've got the two flaps that match, and then I've got a pocket that will work that way. But what I want to do is I do want to do the closure on the actual pocket area. So I'm just going to work out a crease. And as I said, I haven't quite decided where I would like, what paper I would like to use. So that's now just going to sit there, and this will hold this one in place. But it means then I've still got this flap free, or I could stick this to the actual flap and the flap holds it in place as well. I quite like the idea that the flap could be free. I don't know. No, I think we'll stick it to the, I'm changing my mind again. Let's stick it to the flap. Let's cut that bit down. I've changed my mind again. Amazing, isn't it? I've prepped a project and then I've changed my mind again. Right, I'm just going to put some glue down the middle. I would be a little bit neater with my gluing than I am being at the moment, but I can always go back and add more glue in places. So I just want to push that over just a little bit. As I said, I'm terrible. I don't measure. I do everything 9 times out of 10 by eye. That will do. So I think I'm going to probably put the blue there. So when we open it up, we've got the actual blue showing for all of the different areas. So where did I put my blue paper? Here it is. I'm just having a look to see if I've already got a one piece cut down, and I probably haven't, but that's fine. So let's have a look. Oh, that piece would probably work. Pencil. I am measuring properly this. Well, I'm not measuring properly. Like I said, I'm doing it by eye, but I will use a pencil just to at least mark it. And put that there. I can then just do this one here. And then I'm left with a really strange piece, but I can use that. So this now can go and sit on there. So everything then is matching. It's got a real lovely tactile element. So we've got this going to sit here. I'm just lining that up there. And we will make the brackets in a moment that will hold everything into place. And we can then, once I can start decorating. So this now, this is going into the middle. So I'm going to place this now, rather than to one side, I'm going to put this one into the middle as well. So we'll just put a little bit of glue onto this. And I will be covering it. Like I said, there is so many snippable elements, whether it's in the papers themselves, or you get lots of little tags and toppers and other elements. And then you obviously got the fussy cut pad as well. Right, so there's just going to sit there, and we will, I'm probably going to put a picture like this again up the top there. I'm just going to grab a piece of, I have an offcuts bag, so this is like my offcuts bag. So all the papers that I've done offcuts of, that I, you know, that too good to throw away, I'm going to grab one of those and see. Actually, I've changed my mind again, because we get these toppers. Quite like the idea of cutting down one of the toppers and fitting it in like that, she says. Right, so that's what I think I'm going to do with that. Sorry, so we'll keep those there. Right, then now this is technically the whole of the book made up. Bye, Sam. Amazing speedy woman. So this now is the whole of the book prepped, done and made, that the whole, and now it's just actually decorating it. Now this part here, as I was saying, so this is now our little signature, and it, you know, it works that we can, you know, that we can actually do them separately. And this is the back of the book now as well. So what I want to do is, I'll decorate the book, is take this one that I've already decorated, and I'm going to stick that on top. And now I've created a bigger book that will open up, and I've got all the different areas that I can, you know, work on. So by doing it in little chunks, I can do them, then when I get the chance, I can just make one little folio and gradually stick them all together and make it work. But we'll decorate this one first. So we've got this here. So this is now, this is my favorite part, and this is probably the part where I take far too long at. And I couldn't decide, I'm going to be honest, what I wanted to use. So I cut out so many different bits that I was then spoilt for actual choice. And you just sit there. Now, this one here is lovely. I'm going to turn it around this way so you can see it, because of the way the camera is positioned. This is actually, you can cut this as two toppers, or you can cut it out as one whole piece. So if you wanted to make yourself another mini book, you've got that there. Just score down the middle and put some pages inside it, and you've got yourself a little mini book. which I think is a really, really beautiful way of doing it. And I think that I'm going to do it that way. So, because it'll fit inside my pocket there. And I'm going to do it that way, but I'm going to add, because you've got the inside covers already done for me, because obviously it's double-sided papers. And I thought that would be lovely to add to it. So I'm just going to put you there. And we're going to go back down to these pages here now and start decorating them up. And as I said, I couldn't decide on what bits I want to do. So I'm just going to move them all over here a little bit, because then it's easier if they're that side to me. So I can move everything across just a little bit. So we've got, you know, lots of different, I want to make lots of different corners. So we've got this beautiful topper here that I can mount here and I can have as a corner, but I think that's just a little bit big. But I want to use some of the smaller elements we've got. Where is the one I've cut out that I thought would be perfect for this one? Here it is. So I could bring in this element here, but I actually thought this one would be a nice work, but I'm going to put it on a little piece of black card and we're going to turn it in to another pocket area. So, and that can then sit. So even though the book, I'm just going to see if I've got a smaller piece of card. Yeah, that'll better. And then I can tie in the, now I could have made this a concertina pocket and that would make, but as I'm just going to make this to go for a corner, I'm not really worried. So I don't need two pieces of card, I only need one. I thought that felt a little bit thicker than normal. Right, so we've got that there. And what I want to do is just have it slightly in a little bit, and I'm just going to use some 3D foam. And I'm going to put a thicker amount on the bottom. And I'm using foam strips. For projects like this, I just find it easier and quicker because they're in strips. It means I don't have to cut them down. We've got that there. I mean, I don't have to. What I mean is, I don't have to. You know, if I had a thicker piece of 3D foam, I don't have to make it thinner. So we've got that there, and we'll just take these off. Move those over there. So now I've got that little bit that's going to sit in the corner here, which means then I can start adding, if I want to now, I've got another place to add toppers that fit inside there, or photo mounts. If you wanted to do something to keep everything in place, one really quick idea that you can do is you could make yourself another sort of closure that goes over here. So for example, I'm just going to cut this down. I'm just thinking of any size at the moment. I won't decorate this piece up. So what we could do is, you could, if you like magnets and you like things like that, you could just do a small little crease on the bottom here. Because don't forget, we've got lots of different elements that we can cover anything we add to it. So now I could add another little part there. You could add your magnets in place, and then you have another flap which is holding, or if you want to put lots of different elements and you're worried about things falling out, this will then hold them in place as well and keep everything. So, you know, that you can extend what you're doing. So we've got, so that's going to fit like all the different toppers in. So I'm going to probably use these ones, but it's just to show you. And these are in the patterns pad. So suddenly now I can use these, trim them down, and these, because they're double-sided, I can use them straight away as photo mounts, or I could put them onto black card, you know, and they can sit straight away there. So we'll just move you like that. So we've got that little decorative element going on there. I'm just going to move my black card out of the way. And I want to bring in some of the other elements that we've got. Where is the one I'm looking for? She says, no, that one I want to use in a different way in a moment. Right, okay. So to match this one in here, I'm going to start, and I can have that one sitting there like that. So it ties in the two different images. Actually, let's go for, sorry, I'm changing my mind again because it says Queen and Queen. I did do one. No, we'll do it that way. That's fine. Rather than keep changing everything around. So we've got that there. And so that one's going to sit. And I like to do things off center as well as in center. So it just changes the way we look at something. We could cut another piece there, so a photograph area could go there, or you could leave it so a little piece of journaling could go on the top. Let's just move my scissors out of the way, and I can bring in, so as I said, this is my favorite part. So we've got these little like journaling tabs. So I'm going to bring in that there, so you could then put that as a little place to do a little bit of journaling. There we go. And that could sit there, and that's going to sit on top like that. So I've now got a little bit of journaling to bring in there, because the papers are busy. So if you don't want to do all of these parts, you don't actually have to. There is enough detail within the papers themselves that, that if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. And I'm just going to bring in, just to tie the two designs together so it doesn't look like they're floating. These clocks, there's a whole page of them in the 6x6 fussy cut pad. And I suppose I better make sure it goes the right way round, hadn't I? That's 12. I suppose that doesn't matter. But just to tie the two in together, I'm just adding that little embellishment. So it looks like it becomes like one design element. Okay. So this I would leave, and I would probably, this is where I would actually put some form of journaling here, and I would use writing paper. So we've got those pages there. So this now is going to sit on the top, and we're going to go and do it. So we've got this now is like our belly band. So we can bring in, so whereas I was using that with the Queen, we've got these beautiful long tags that could go on there, which match in with all the different papers. We've got, I love the saying on this one, wonder is the beginning of wisdom. And that matches in with it as well. So the hardest part is just picking one element. You've got, if you wanted to make it a winter project, you've got silently like thoughts that come and go. The snowflakes fall, each one a gem. I think that is absolutely beautiful as well. So as you can see, I've just got so many different ones that actually, we've got the flag there. I think I'm going to go for this one, but we'll mount it on a little bit of black. Let's get my trimmer down. Because however much detail, I think the amount of detail we put in something is personal, personal preference at the end of the day. And we'll just grab a little piece of black, stick that to. And that's got then a little piece of journaling that I can actually use as well. As I said, you've got so many different, if you didn't want to use all the elements, the papers on the reverse are equally as beautiful. And we've got that there. And just trim this down. And I don't mount my toppers or things like that until I know where I actually want to place them on my project. So I'm going to put I'm going to put this in the middle, because then it looks like I've got the diagonal going across. If a jaunty angle doesn't suit you, you can do it that way. But as we've got lots of straight lines, I thought the jaunty angle would look better. So I've got that going there. And one of the papers and in the fussy cut pad, you get some beautiful like faux postage stamps. I'm just going to bring 1 or 2 of those in. Just putting the rubbish so I can tip the rubbish away. So I'm just going to bring in 1 or 2 of those elements as well. So the actual belly band itself becomes a feature of the project. So we've got that. I'm going to move that in a bit. That's better. Sorry, I had to work it out visually in my head where it's going to go. And I'm going to do the red. So as I said, there are so many different elements that you can cut out of the actual papers themselves. Or you have so many elements as well within the collections. So I haven't added anything from any other collection. So yeah, that's going to go and sit there like that. And you could keep on building and building and building. And this is what I call my nemesis now. This is where I sit there and now faff. Carol, they are beautiful papers. There is just so many different things you can do with them and bring in with them. And because we've got the Queen, I think we can have a little crown on the top there. But I'll just mount it with a little bit of, work out where my 3D foam is going to go. So it's going to go about there. So now, and that the crown is on one of the fussy cut pads. So we can see there. So she's peeking over her crown, which I think is rather cool. And we can then, this is like the Big Ben clock. I'm working out where the time is. Let's have a think. 1, 2, 3. So it's going to go up there. No, I think we'll leave that. And if anything, I'd put something else on top of it. So we've got that now. So that's just the belly band. So now, as you can see, we've got this for our corners where our different, I'll just put them in there for now just to show. Different toppers can go. That's going to sit there. So this now would fit. We've got a belly band that this would fit these. But because we've got enough space as well, we can take the larger toppers that come in the collection and they too would still fit in here, even though this page is smaller, because we've got enough space to fit those in. So it doesn't just have to be the smaller elements. It can be the bigger elements can go in there as well. And then move that over, and then it's decorated. Some pages I leave plain, and the main reason for that is oh, that's Carol, that is brilliant. I love the idea about postage stamps. I've been collecting mine from Christmas cards, I must admit, just to do that with as well. And that was because of this collection, and now in the UK, because we've got the barcoding on them, I think that's even cooler. Right, so I often leave a plain page, because especially if I'm gifting something to someone, so they can do what they like, and I would put a few elements in with them to decorate. So this now is going to go and sit on the top here. I'm going to have my photograph going here. So I just want to grab a piece of card, she says. That was really good, and I've just tidied everything away. So I'm just going to cut down a piece of card and we'll trim it into place. And I want to put a photo here. And if I did the straight edge, it would be easier to see. And pencil. Because I've got the, sorry, I'm concentrating there. Because I've got this image here, I don't want it to be any bigger than that, because I think that is nice decoration in its own right. So we're going to trim this down. And there we go. I'm going to make it a square. Let's keep you there. And I can add this here. I'm not going to put a black border around it because I think we've got enough of the dark colours already showing. Oh, puppy second jabs. Oh. Are you doing dog training, Diane, as well? I must admit, I don't miss that. My dog was brilliant off the lead. Oh, was a devil on the lead. Right, so we've got that there now. And we can tie in these designs. Because like I said, we've got lots of different elements from the fussy cut pad. So I could bring in, you know, we've got little tags that could easily be brought in, and you could thread your own ribbons through, because that would make like a nice journaling tag. I've got, where am I looking for? As I said, I could bring in another one of the toppers that's got the queen element in it. I quite like the idea that I might cut that one out actually. And it's actually knowing when to stop. So I've got that there. I'm just trimming this down. I can have this here, so this can now sit there. Now, if I always put things like this on 3D foam, and the main reason for it is if I wanted a photograph to go underneath, it means the person can then put the photograph underneath. They don't have to cover some of the embellishment that you've actually put onto your collection. So by just putting the, I'm just concentrating where I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it there. So what I mean is by just putting a little bit of 3D foam, if someone wanted to fill the whole space with a photograph, they can do, because it's not stuck on top of that actual area. Or they can put things, you know, underneath it as well. Right, so we've got, I cut out some of these are from the fussy cut pad as well. And I thought we could start layering up some of those to make it look like the actual chess set. So you get these, like I said, the fussy cut pads are just, they do work with your scan and cut, to those of you who have electronic machines. Oh, yeah, no, mine, yeah, he went Rainbow Bridge. It was his time, bless him. So, you know, you've got lots of different elements. As I was saying, if you've got an electronic die cutting machine, they do work in an electronic die cutting machine. Some of the elements are slightly lighter around the outside. Sorry, I'm looking for, I did cut out another pawn image. And so they might not cut out fully, but at least 90% do. I know, because I've tried. And obviously when you're prepping for shows, you need to. Right. Okay, I'm just going to put, I did have another pawn, but what I'm going to do is I'm just taking one of these little pawn images and I'm just adding it there. So I've got like now 3 pieces of the chess set, and we've got that building up there. So this now closes up, and this is going to go and sit on the top. So to hide this, we've got lots of, you know, different types of toppers. So I'm just going to grab one of the bigger toppers out just to show you. Let's grab these out for the moment, and we can put everything back together. I can take the larger topper and I could even cut it down so it could be the, you know, the Big Ben image. Because it is a large topper, I could actually just stick the whole lot like this and do the tag. You know, there's so many different ways. You don't have to use them. I could cut this down into 2 toppers because there's enough detail here that I could have the 3 o'clock element and just have the sentiment or quote. I had to think what that was called then. Total mind block. But I'm going to go for this one, which has got the postcard on it. And I'm going to build it up from the top there. And we can do that. I'm trying to be good and get this done. Prawns. I I'm trying to be good and see if we can get this done in an hour, so you're not watching me sit here and faff, because that is my, like I said, that is my favourite part. And like I said, we've got some more of the stamps, and this one is now from the fussy cut sheet. Now on the fussy cut sheet, you get little coins, you get postmark. I mean, what don't you get on there? You know, it's absolutely phenomenal, the detail you get on there. So this has got this one here. I'm going to try and lift it up. It starts right down from the older stamp set, King George, and then it's got like Queen Elizabeth right up to like the 50p instead of like the 2 shillings. And actually, I'm going to cut them up. I wasn't going to, but I am now. I've changed my mind again. So we've got, and I do love layering different things on top of each other, because I think that looks, you know, really brilliant that way as well. So I'm just going to put some bits there. I've got that there. Let's take you two out, because I can layer you guys like that on top of the postcard, which is what I'm going to do. But I'm going to bring in a little bit of foam. I'm not using a foam that's got too much height to it. It's just got a little bit of height, so then it won't make everything too bulky. So we've got that there. And that's going to sit there. And then I've got this part here. So I got to make myself a band, and I forgot to cut mine out. So we'll just make one very, very quickly. And I need one the other side. So I said the template is in there, but this will do for now. So I'm just going to move this because I just need to score a couple of bits. And it's easier if I use my
Yeah, hello everyone. Maybe can you see me properly? Probably we have a connection problem with Lou, but if you tell me that you can see me, probably she's the one who has the problem. May you send me a feedback so I can tell her to try to reconnect. Okay, okay. I'm just wait. I try to tell Lou that she's yeah. Ah, okay, yeah. Okay, okay, fine. So Lou, if you can, you just disconnect and reconnect to the same link. Just wait. We can do this way. Okay, perfect, perfect. No problem. In Italy, we say bello della diretta. Things that can happen when you are just live. You know, Yeah, we have to be a little bit, just have a little bit of patience. Yeah, I was reading all your comments, and for those who needs to have idea or need some suggestions about the e-commerce or stockist in general, you can write me down directly in Messenger, because otherwise I lost everything. I lose everything. Okay, okay. Maybe she's trying to reconnect. Just let's see. Okay, maybe she's there. Okay, one. Okay, we're back.
Oh, sorry, it was a connection my end. Sorry.
I don't know, probably some things that might happen when you are live and with the
I
connection and
know.
so on. No
Well,
problem. We are back.
you know, when you just sit there and go, no, I could looked at the screen. I was so busy yattering, I hadn't noticed that the screen had gone off. So apologies.
Yeah, it was frozen. You were frozen, but right
Yeah.
now we are. You can continue.
Right. Oh, sorry. You know, when you just think in my head, I thought, oh, well, I'll get this made in an hour, and then it freezes out on me. Typical. Right. Let's just stick that glue back down there because it just didn't stick down. That was me panicking now, going, ah. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this element over my buckle area and just build it up so it hides the actual buckle itself. And just do that there. And then what I'll do is I won't get everything finished because obviously didn't mean that to actually happen. So that's just hiding the little bit of the buckle area and it fits in with what we did. And I want to grab in one of the postage stamps that I was using, but now because I panicked with everything going off, I like picked the phone up and went, never mind. Always the way. We'll just pick something different because I put it somewhere safe in doing it that way. But what I'll do is anything I don't get to finish, I will finish properly and I'll post some pictures. So that's now, I'm just going to stick, I want to just stick different elements in place. I'm just working out where it's going to go. That's going to go over there. Let's put the glue on this and then I won't put the glue everywhere. I'll just get it in the right place then. See, I'm talking to myself now. Okay. Oh, sorry. Now there's someone at the door. Be 2 seconds. Oh, typical. Thank you. Oh, sorry about that. That was a delivery man waving at me through the window. Right. Okay. So we've got this here. So now what I would do is, like I said, I'm going to take, and because I'm conscious of the time, we've got the topper that we can do that, or a backing paper. So these toppers now can fit inside the actual pockets here. I need to choose a backing paper and I need to make the decision of whether this is going to be for where a photo actually goes. And I quite like the idea that it could be. So I'm just going to cut down a little piece of card. So that's going to be, I'll do this after the live so you can see, that's going to be where a photo goes. And I would put a piece of backing paper there. And I quite actually like trimming this down because that then when you open that up goes with all the different postage stamps. So I'm actually going to, there's me saying I'll do it after the live. I'm just going to quickly trim this down. Really quickly. So sorry about that, everybody. We're having it doesn't surprise me. I had a bit of connection. We're having all the fiber optics upgraded. I live about 17 miles from like Stansted Airport, and all the infrastructure is being dug up and round of applause. Everything is being dug up here. Oh, actually, look at that. That's nice as well. So I'm saying sometimes the paper's on the back. No, right, stick to your first plan, otherwise you're going to sit here and waffle. And we'll put that in there. And this is one of the large toppers. Let's get rid of the glue. And it matches then in when this is opened up with all the different things there. So I need to just, that's going to bug me because it's not 100% straight. Sorry, that's me being faffy. Oh, I don't know. That's sorry. That's a lorry now reversing. Where is everybody coming from all of a sudden? And I'm just going to bring in one of the postage stamps so everything ties together just a little bit more. And let's go for the green. And we will. Right. So I'm just going to. So this is where I now faff because I sit there. No, it's going to go there. So I would put something on here as well because we do need to put another buckle on here. I'm doing what I said I did before with my glue, which is keep moving it around. So we're just going to put that. So now everything, I've got a postage stamp there. I've got postage stamps on there. And then obviously because of this topper, I've got postage stamps here. So this here now is we just need to work out what we're going to do with these ones. And I'm just going to create another quick buckle. I can't see them for looking. I did cut them all out, but hey ho. Right. And I'll put this here. And I'm just holding, sorry, I'm just doing the glue off. So I'm just going to put this and hold it there. Now, one of the things that I did cut out, and I bet you I won't be able to find it now because I'm looking for it, was you do get little, in the paper, you do get little things, found it, yay. Things like, says like notebook and also little things that says notes. So you could label up all your different toppers and things like that that you're going to use quite easily. So we're just going to bring that there. I won't use the notebook at the end of the day. Right, so I'm going to use this little, so to hide that buckle, I will decorate all the other areas up, but there we go. I'm just going to put that so it goes there. And then I'm just going to take this one here and I'm just going to cut this off because it could be notes. And I'm going to use the notes. And we'll just put that so it's going to go across the top there and be framed by the buckle. So now the buckles become decorative rather than actually stand out. They become like a decorative feature and part of the page. So as I said, there's lots of other elements that I was going to add in, but I will stick all those down and I will share it with everyone. So let me just put the glue. I keep saying so. Sorry. Right now, so we've got the front there. I haven't decorated the front here, and the reason for that was, as I said, I wanted these little folios to be that you could create them quite quickly. And the longest part about them is probably deciding on how you're going to decorate. So we've now got this one here that sits the buckle there. This will be then I can put some of my larger toppers. I can put photo mounts. This one here that I was saying, I could cut out and I could actually then put pages inside it and it becomes then a little book that can sit inside there as well. So it could be, you know, you could have a notebook as well that could sit inside there. And the buckle then just, I would put paper on that and decorate it up, slides underneath. We've then got this one here that, you know, that will hopefully not be stuck to it. Have I stuck to it? No, I haven't. I thought I had a bit. So now opens up and we've got our pages that then open up like that. And we've now got another area that can stick some of the larger cards that we get in there or some of the tags that we get within the paper collection. If I put that across there, these ones now can still also fit inside on the belly band area because we have enough space because of the width of the book. So we can do again bigger and smaller, so they can sit inside there. So I'm going to turn it around like it goes that way. Then we've got this one on top, and this goes back inside there, and the tab holds it in place. That then gets closed up, and then what would happen is I would then stick the book, the original book I made. As you can see, I decorated all the different tags, and I would add a little bit more of that. That would then get stuck on the top there, and I would let it all glue in place. But for speed, what we'll do is we'll just grab some clips. I can show you what I mean. And I will glue these together. So what I would do is glue that, would get glued like that. We're not going to be able to open it up, but just to show you. And then this one would get glued in place. And I would use clips to keep it in place whilst it was gluing, because obviously there's a lot of weight and detail in there. So now what happens is I've got those two glued together. So this now would open. This would be one book. And then I could flip over, and that would be another book. And then I've put a piece of that blue paper on the background there, but I could add a third book, a fourth book, you know, however many I wanted to add. And that then I can quickly create the folios, one, you know, and then spend a day or whenever just gluing them all together to see from there. So let's take you apart now. So thank you ever so much for bearing with me, and I do apologise for the loss in connection, but I hope that just gives you, you know, a quick way of using the papers and not actually using very, very much of the papers at all to make, you know, little folios that are quite easy to put together.
Thank you very much, Lou. So see you next time, and have a nice day to everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.